member of a party list transport sector, but you are also the secretary of a department that oversees something very vital to the transport sector, there is a conflict of interest. And that person is liable to an anti-graft case, Mr. Chairman. But that is beyond the jurisdiction of the COMELEC. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yes.
So, any other matter to be discussed pertaining to...
Pag natalo sa kaso na yun, that would result in permanent disqualification from public office. So he would be removed from the party list.
Mon, kasi please recommend.
Actually, I think there is a Supreme Court decision that applies to the case, not exactly requiring the appointed official from resigning. It's related to the prohibition of using government resources and actually people becoming nominees, government officials becoming nominees of party list. I think this is the one on OFW 2004, the one where the Supreme Court required the COMELEC to review all the approved party list groups because of the 8-point criteria for party list groups and also nominees. I don't know if the COMELEC applied it in the last party list election, but I think there is an existing jurisprudence of that. Not really requiring the designation, but actually prohibiting government officials from becoming nominees of party list groups.
Yes, the second bill under consideration is a bill increasing penalties regarding the Voters Registration Act of 1996. The chair recognizes Congressman Rodriguez.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1077 increases the penalties for persons guilty of election offences. Under the present law, Republic Act 189, Article 46, it's only 6 months to not more than 6 years. We're making it 1 year to 12 years. And then the fine is only 100,000 pesos. We increase it to 500,000 pesos and to 1 million pesos. An increase from 500 to 1 million. So that we can send a signal that we should not countenance these election offences by increasing their penalties.
That's right. So, what, you have any motion?
No question. I agree with the bill, the provisions of the bill.
You are waiting, you want to move for its approval?
I move for the approval of the bill, and as a matter of fact, I would ask the author to make me co-author.
Gladly, and we thank the Honorable Fua for joining me as co-author of this bill.
There is a motion to approve House Bill 1077. Increasing the penalties.
Yes, I just have some questions. I'd like to direct this to the... I support that. In fact, it should be ilang taon?
12 years.
12 years. Maybe reclusion perpetua should be the penalty. Mr. Chairman, the reason, we heard from the COMELEC earlier that the normal increase in the number of registered voters is about 3%. No? Now, what about when you encounter, let's say, one political unit, a town, for example, or a city, or a barangay, or even some precincts where the increases are abnormal, 20%, 25%, 30%. What action can you take? Motu proprio.
Right now, I don't know of any provision that will trigger any action from the COMELEC. And there have been occasions, like, in fact, I think it was in Parañaque, because of the growth of the number of subdivisions, there was the increase in the number of voters in Parañaque some years back was very high. But it was really because of the growth in the population of the city.
Yes, if that can be the case, like for example, it may be an open area today, but after 10 years from an open area, it has now subdivisions and townhouses and high-rise, have high-density residential areas. But in areas where there has been no perceptible growth in number of homes, but a highly abnormal increase in number of registered voters. If somebody, for example, goes to you and asks you to do something about it, showing 20%, 30%, or even higher growth for some precincts clustered in one questionable area, where you would normally encounter this multiple registration or hacked registration, what can the COMELEC do?
Actually, Your Honor, right now, what we've been doing is a continuous abatement, Your Honor, especially of multiple registrants, Your Honor. Or most of the time, these multiple registrants, Your Honor, are those who just transferred from residence to another resident, but they forgot to have their previous registration cancelled. So far, we have abated about 800,000 of the present 35 million registered voters who have biometrics. Of the 800,000, a closer study of the 124 of the 800,000, 124,000 were found to have dubiously and deliberately registered twice with intent to defy the law. Right now, the law department is recommending a procedure considering the numerous violators on how to prosecute these 124,000 double registrants. What we have been doing also, Your Honor, to update also as part of the procedure is that we have been requiring the local registrar on deaths of registered voters so that we can update the list of those who already died. However, our normal problems there is that if a person died in another municipality or another area, and his death certificate will not be reflected in the municipality where he is registered. Therefore, we could not abate his death, Your Honor. But as of now, under the AFIS system, Your Honor, we are continuously counter-checking double registrants, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, may I also ask, what is the status of the biometric requirement? Does that need a law, or you can do that already?
Under the Registration Act, Your Honor, if you have not voted for twice in 2 succeeding elections, that's the only time that you can be removed. So, for those who have not yet registered but have continuously voted in the previous election, they need to revalidate, but we cannot compel them unless there is a law.
How about the new registrants?
The new registrants are already under biometrics, Your Honor.
Ano ka biometrics?
So,
Started when?
I think they started project 07 or 08, Your Honor.
07 or 08?
We estimate there's probably about 25 million.
Is there going to be an all-purpose, or it will cover everybody, this biometric registration? You don't have that initiative?
Actually, Your Honor, before when the CICT was still existing as a separate entity, Your Honor, I was able to talk to Secretary Ivan Uy, and he had a project wherein certain agencies who have need of biometric, like the SSS, the GSIS, would have a link up onto the biometric system, and that would also really greatly help our abatement process, Your Honor. But up to now, we are not aware of any agency, although our Commissioner Quintañares has expressed her interest in having access to our data, Your Honor.
Then you have the computer to cross-check this, to maximize the use
Yes, Your
of
Honor.
the biometric.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can now.
In the main office right now, Your Honor.
You can do that now.
Yes, and
Are you going through that now, or?
we are doing that continuously, Your Honor. On a monthly basis, the local election officers submit to us a CD of the list of the registrants, and we upload that to the main computer to update it and to check for double registrants.
If there's an unusual increase in the number of registrants, very unusual, 20%, 25%, can that be a ground to ask for a new registration or cancel the registration of those precincts?
Technically, Your Honor, a verified petition has first to be filed to annul the list, Your Honor. Without that petition, Your Honor, we could not act.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, are there any more discussions on House Bill number 1077? I believe we have a pending motion from Congressman
Yes.
Cuba to approve House Bill 1077, but there is another bill, the next item on our agenda.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have the bill of the Honorable Congressman J.V. Garcito, which is exactly the same as mine. So we would just consolidate this and we'll just include after Rufus B. Rodriguez, Maximo Rodriguez, since our bill is low in number. And then we have Victor Hacheta as the third author, and then the fourth author is the Honorable Fua. So move for the approval of this consolidated bill.
Excuse me. May I just ask for a clarification on those two bills? Would the implementing agency be the COMELEC?
Everything is COMELEC. In
COMELEC.
elections, yes, it's all the elections.
So it will
COMELEC
be,
has all the power to implement
yeah,
this.
any complaints, any
Yes.
case will be filed with the COMELEC?
COMELEC
And
investigates,
adjudication will be-
COMELEC prosecutes, everything.
Adjudication will be with the COMELEC.
Everything COMELEC. Yes, I move, Mr. Chairman. So, already approved?
There's a motion that House Bill number 1077 be consolidated with House Bill 2998 and that the same be approved.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. There's no
Are
objection.
there any discussions? Objections? There being none, the motion is carried. We now proceed to the next item on the agenda. That is House Bill number 1389. The Honorable Rodriguez is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, elections are crucial exercises of political freedom, and we therefore say that it's essential that the elections are clean, honest, truthful, and fast results. We would like to therefore make sure that first, fees for protest at present are very exorbitant, that we make it reasonable. Second, let us make the proclaimed winner who's eventually ousted in the protest shoulder or cost as punishment for him. Third, let us put a time limit on the resolution of protest. You know, Coco Pimentel filed his 4 years ago. It was then filed in the election SET. If the Senator Subin did not resign, it should not have been finished, Mr. Chairman. So we put the limit to 2 years at SET. Like I said, there's the number there. And the time resolution on protest, and deny the proclaimed candidate payment of benefits when the protest is heard, so that he will also try to have the protest finished. And then candidates found cheating to secure victory, but eventually ousted, are barred from running again because they are cheaters. And lastly, all those involved in delaying resolution cases criminal liable. So that is our bill, Mr. Chairman, to fast track this and make sure that we do not have a situation where grab the proclamation first and then delay the protest until kingdom come, till death do us part. So that's my bill, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Rodriguez. Are there any discussions?
Thank you, Your Honor. We'd just like to give the data on the current cases being handled by the COMELEC. For the May 2010 elections, cases of original jurisdiction filed with the COMELEC as of July 31 is 96. Cases that were appealed from the regional trial courts as of July 31 is 76. For the barangay, the election appeal cases are 370. As of the moment, the maximum capacity for storage of ballot boxes in our warehouse is 4,109. No, I'm sorry. The total boxes for recount is 4,109, but our maximum capacity is 2,691. Actually, we do not have a problem with the bill except on determining we just want you to understand from the COMELEC side in terms of we want to adjudicate cases as fast as possible. But what are the obstruction, the bottlenecks that are affecting the COMELEC?
Sige, may kotse pa ako.
First, I understand, Your Honor, that this bill only tackles protest cases. But aside from protest cases, we handle disqualification cases. For the May 2010, there's disqualification cases. There's also certiorari cases, we call that SPR. For the barangay, aside from disqualification cases from barangay captains up to the level of the SK, there's also petitions for manifest errors, which we did not include in this data. Annulment of elections, we do not consider that as protest cases. So we are handling all those cases right now at the same time. And like in the cases of the protest cases for the May 2010 elections, we have to get clearance from the Supreme Court, from the Presidential Election Tribunal, and from the HRET, because there's no pending SET case right now, so that we can retrieve the ballot box. If we are given clearance, that's the only time we are able to retrieve the ballot box. We have promulgated rules like limiting the